I'm Katie, and today I will talk about personal data protection and the digital age. There is no doubt that digital progress and technologies have brought huge benefits in many areas. The collection of data about individuals has created opportunities for research and innovation. Data are crucial elements for modern economy, and the digital communications can be seen as an engine of various opportunities. But on the other hand, digital progress and sophisticated technologies have created unprecedented opportunities for monitoring and surveillance. Corporate and government actors are collecting, analyzing, storing, and sharing increasingly vast amount of information about individuals. In the citizen-government relations, this issue is much more difficult because processing personal data in the public sector is mainly based on legal obligations and the public interest. Has this process led to the demise of privacy, or can we still find solutions for modern day challenges? How much of ourselves and our lives should be subject to monitoring and surveillance? Is this a high price we pay for those benefits and advantages that were brought by the digital progress? When we talk about privacy, the first thing that comes to my mind is that privacy promotes individuality, personal autonomy, liberty. It fosters creativity, and most importantly, it fosters the pursuit of happiness. Years ago, one of the Supreme Court justices, of the US Supreme Court justices, in his dissenting opinion wrote, "The time will come when no one will be sure whether his words are recorded for use at some future time. When this time comes, privacy and with it liberty will be gone. If a man's privacy can be invaded at will, who can say that he is free? If his words are taken down and evaluated, who can say that he enjoys his freedom of speech?" In recent years, the CCTV cameras have increased in sophistication and number, and they have significantly altered the modern notion of privacy in the public places. The mere fact that someone's public movements can be constantly monitored significantly alters their behavior, regardless of whether someone is actually watching. And this often resembles to the world made of the glass, and sometimes it's even compared to the Big Brother form of control. Can it be true that we behave the same or act the same when we know that someone is actually taking the notes of our every word and our every behavior? The chilling effect of the permanent digital memory alters our behavior and can even sometimes lead to the self-censorship. When we know that our emails or our other communications are monitored, or our web browsing leaves permanent digital traces, it discourages us to express ourselves freely and sometimes alters our behavior. We can argue that we voluntarily surrender our private information in exchange for the digital access to goods and services and information. But in the age of technological dependency, the refusal to use such communication would actually mean that we would give up a significant part of a social interaction. The privacy-related challenges are multifaceted in modern world. When we want to use this service online, we have to comply with the conditions, we have to tick the consent box, but do people actually spend time and intellectual effort on reading those lengthy privacy statements on every website, application, or the service they use? Moreover, in the internet age, when the vast amount of information can be stored indefinitely and can be easily retrieved by means of a mouse click, controlling one's personal data is a particularly difficult task to do, if not impossible. And of course, internet has brought huge benefits in terms of access to a wide range of information, content creation, and public dissemination. But on the other hand, it has also given rise to losing our control over our data, and also the challenges related to forgetting. In one of his books, Victor Meyer-Schonberger highlighted that since the beginning of time, for us humans, forgetting has been the norm and the remembering the exception. Because of the digital technologies and the global networks, however, this balance has shifted, And today, with the help of widespread technologies, forgetting has become the exception and the remembering the default. The recently emerged right to be forgotten tries to answer this particular challenge, but it has also given rise to considerable controversy. Despite the significance of the efforts to ensure individuals' control over their personal data, the very nature of the internet and the technological developments create practical and legal barriers in achieving the aims of being forgotten. Even the court in the Google Spain judgment highlighted the ease by which the information which is publicly available can be replicated easily. And indeed, once the information becomes publicly available, tracking the personal data, controlling its further dissemination or subsequent total erasure is practically impossible. And the Google Spain judgment is also a good illustration of the so-called Streisand effect, when the Spanish citizen who actually wanted to be forgotten actually ended up publicizing his personal information more widely. And on the other hand, the right to be forgotten and the removal of the lawfully published information also raises serious concerns in terms of freedom of expression, because it affects the individual's right to have access to information. And the debate how to achieve the balance between the privacy and freedom of expression has achieved its highest level in the digital age. Can we have a realistic expectation of privacy online? And how much valuable information might be lost in translating these legal requirements into practice? Probably these questions gain more and more relevance and necessitate taking the due account of the very nature and the challenges of the internet age. Besides, artificial intelligence and automated decision-making raise questions about who is liable for such violations which affect the privacy, when the complexity and the amount of the personal data cannot be ascribed with certainty. And moreover, profiling can lock a person into one specific category, and sometimes it can lead to inaccurate predictions. And also in some cases, it might even lead to the denial of the services or even unjustified discrimination. So what is left of individual privacy and how can it be saved? The lawyers, like myself, would go for legal regulation and empowering individuals with legally recognized rights and ensuring their effective enforcement. The GDPR is one example of such an approach. But can the protective ability of the legislation catch up with the digital progress and technological developments? What if we don't even know when someone has access to our personal data, or uses it for a completely different purpose other than for which we made it accessible? Data protection is not only the matter of legal regulation, it's a matter of choice. Rather than ticking the checklist or blindly obeying the rules, the data controllers should compete with each other in setting good examples of data protection, not only because there is a law that prohibits certain behavior or there are sanctions for violating these rules, but rather we as human beings who can think critically and who can make the right decisions respect each other's privacy and understand that humans are ever-changing beings. Over time, we change, our attitudes, our opinions and ideas change. And we should be able to exercise control over what happens to our personal data. It's our data after all. So at the end of my talk, there seem to be more problems than the solutions, because the digital progress and the sophisticated technologies have raised such issues and challenges that were hard to contemplate years ago. So there is no silver bullet for modern day challenges, but at least we should all agree that in the digital age, privacy should remain a cherished value that requires greater protection day by day. Thank you.